live here or maybe through Zoom on our show. But what do you know about this artist, kaning Mel? Hisgot mo ganiya nga taga Tacloban ni siya. What else do you know about Ruby Ibarra?
One of the things nga I know is that I don't know so much.
Okay.
No, because little coverage has been given about her. No,
Okay,
I
okay.
mean, even Philippine newspapers and entertainment or even Billboard does not talk about her. So she's just there, making her thing, and just like any other artist, struggling artist wanting to be recognized, joining here and there, and probably out of 7,500, finally somebody really said that, oh, this girl, this person is very talented. And that's the only time that we were able to kanang notice her. And that's when I noticed her. Not much information about her actually.
You know, you all know with the recent election or re-election, o gitawag nila og kaning nga Trump 2.0, nga mura ang kanang immigration is a very touchy subject, di ba? Natay daghang
That's
kay
right.
mga nadunggan about it, right? So
Yes.
I'm curious ba, like this is kind of a particularly controversial, would even venture in saying dangerous time for immigrants, right? And maybe this is a kind of political statement also for NPR, because I think NPR is one of those kaning murag na biktima sa Doge. I don't know if
That's
you're
right.
familiar with
One of
Doge,
those agencies na funding is being
with
stopped,
with
no?
or withheld, right? Kanang
By
the
Donald
Department
Trump. Yeah.
Department of Government Efficiency, di ba? So
Yes.
they have been funding NPR because like I've always maintained, namagini purpose, namagini role in society ang public radio, di ba? In fact, we were talking about it in our previous episodes, right? So do you think this is
That's
a
right.
kind of a political statement from NPR to allow her to win, aside from, of
Yeah.
course, by her sheer talent as well?
But I think that's one of the reasons actually probably no uh, considered by the people behind the Tiny Disc to look for an artist who is really kind of a migrant and speaks about her heritage, about her situation, being there in the States, living there as a migrant, and talking about her where she comes from. So it's saying that, hey, I'm proud of being what I am. I come from somewhere else, but I'm here, and I'm making my statement
Mm.
here in this country, which is supposedly free,
Mm.
diba?
In case you're wondering what you're listening to, mga kaigalan, you're listening to our top of the morning conversations with Mel Libre, our host of BORI Global. Atong gisgotan karbuntagan, nagsugod taog this tiny artist, diminutive artist who hails from Tacloban, Philippines, who's now based in the United States. Ruby Ibarra, who just won the Tiny Desk concert contest among 7,500 participants. Can you see if you would you know that was she like born in the States, or is she like murag ni migrate na siya sa
I
Amerika?
think the way I understand it, that she was born and raised there. But I
Okay.
think most Filipinos who are kanang born there and raised by Filipino parents, kita mga Filipino overseas,
Okay.
would try to instill in our children about our country. So most often the parents like me, I talk about my grandchildren about unsay kinabuhi sa Pilipinas, no?
Mm-mm.
Unsay mga istorya, unsay mga the legends, the stories sa Pilipinas.
Mm.
And I think probably her parents instilled in her to be proud of her heritage, and probably she herself had been also curious about unsa man ni Pilipinas nga where I come from. Like the word bakunawa,
Mo gyud, I was gonna get to unsa mo
is
ginang
strange,
bakunawa?
right?
Unsa mo ginang bakunawa kaning Mel? I kind of read about it. I know this is like a mythical figure
Yes.
in Bisaya myth and culture, right?
Yes, yes.
Uh,
Mura na siya og sa atoa pa murag in English murag it's a sea serpent.
okay.
mura siya dragon. It's a dragon in the sea. And then ang kuana na is that it eats the moon. Murag kanon niya ang buwan, mo na mawa ang buwan. So muna siya ang bakunawa. So
Makadungog man ko na
it's also
kinumdum ko sa akong lolo ug lola ug even my mom and my dad. Mura makagbakunawa or something like that, right? Or kaning that's actually part of our language kanang bakunawa. Pero namurag medyo nawagtang na siya nga word sa ato ang kaning lexicon sa atong day-to-day conversation, right? So
That's right.
kanang the myth of the bakunawa, would you be familiar with the myth of the bakunawa? Unsa ning
I, I
bakunawa?
just I just read about it, and I even tried to write a song about it last year.
Oh,
I think,
really?
yeah. But wala, it's not yet a finished product. But the
Ngano
point here is,
why did what do you know about a bakunawa? Unsa man gyud ang bakunawa?
so I researched on it, and it's a people go to the sea,
Okay.
yung mga fishermen.
Okay.
They go to the sea, and they're afraid of the bakunawa because if the bakunawa appears, then there is danger that they might be eaten. No.
Okay.
Mura siya kanang, yeah, so it's a sea serpent.
Okay.
It's a sea serpent which eats people, and as well as they say nga ang buwan mawa tungod kay gikaon sa bakunawa.
So, kanang
yeah,
bakunawa, Mel, it's really a bisdak word, right?
it is
Okay.
probably it's a Bisaya word,
Okay.
or is a Visayan word, as in V, as in vine, no? Because
Actually, when I googled it, they were very specific. Cebuano word, gyud siya. Cebuano word ang bakunawa.
so ang Tacloban is Bisaya man na sila nga ha. So that's why probably iyang gi-adapt na nga kwan. And then it sounds mysterious.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you write a song, put something in unusual so that people will take notice. And I think people took notice of the title of the song, and eventually listened to the song and realized that there's something more than the title of the song, the message of the song.
Kaning ang iyang kanta nga bakunawa, this is a collaboration with many artists, right? I can sense, I can hear the influence of American hip hop and R&B, right? Makadungog ka sa iyang kanta, the way he raps, the way she raps, the way the beat
But
goes,
there's
and all of that
something
stuff. But
that,
what do you think about this sound? Because kanang hip hop and R&B, klaro man siya, pero nakabantay ko nga dahil daghan kayong mga tribal influence po. Can you how do you assess the sound of Ruby Ibarra in the
I
song
think
Bakunawa? Go ahead.
I think what she's tried to put into the flavor of the song is that not
Uy, naputol man si Mel. Unsa man ni Mel? Hold on, give me a second. Where did Mel go?
only so
There you go.
structured, no?
Okay.
Structured kayo ang mga kanang the usual song.
Maybe
But, rap,
maybe you can go back for a few mga 10-20 seconds kay mura naputol ka gamay, Mel. So I was asking you
sorry.
I was asking you about how do you assess, how do you feel about the song Bakunaw? I know rap and R&B are very palpable in the song, but how about the other elements of the song? Go ahead.
So I think what she did was first of all adapt a genre which is easily relatable to the youth of the day,
Okay.
and which is R&B as well as rap music, no? And I think in rap music, I know if you I don't know if you know the real meaning of RAP. It's actually rhythmic American poetry. That's the real word for that's the real meaning of rap, no? Rhythmic American poetry.
Okay.
So it's poetry with a beat, and so it's easier for you to express yourself because the structure is there is more chance of saying something, no? Unlike in a structured song, kanang the usual song kinahang nota dinota gyud, di ba? So I think that's good that she adapted that, and then she put in some elements of ethnic music, no? So that to show that this is not purely rap music or R&B, but there is an element of me being a Filipino. And I think what she did is she incorporated these musical instruments into her song. But there's something which,
Nakabantay ko nga na ay murag medyo Amerikana katong brunette bitaw nasay katong tiguang murag
Kana.
kaning nindot kay
They,
paminaw. Can you tell us about them? Go ahead.
this is one of the kanang edad-edaran nga babae nga naggitara, di ba? She is June Millington.
June
June
Millington.
Millington, few people know about it, but June Millington and her sister, duha na sila kabuo, they formed a band called Funny, Fanny.
Okay.
Kanang Funny was a backup band of Barbara Streisand when she was into her rock era. So Barbara
Wait a
Streisand
minute, there's a
had,
rock era of Barbara
yes,
Streisand? Really?
yes.
Kano sa man nahitabo? I'm very familiar with Barbara Streisand because my mom is a huge fan. I never noticed any rock era. Asa maning panahon na?
There is, and you would not even believe that Barbara Streisand was the first one among the most famous singers to do a reggae song.
Whoa!
Oh, shocking!
Yeah, shocking. I'm shocked. So she's always been a balladeer to me, a crooner, if you will. So nga nung nakinomdom ko nasa collaboration sa the Bee Gees, katong
Oh, that was
Guilty,
later.
right?
Later,
So
it was in the 70s.
okay, so
In
does
the
she have an
early
actual rock and roll
70s.
song?
Oh, 70s. Kay baw kaon say gi reggae niya nga kanta. It's called Guava Jelly.
Oh,
And if you look at the songs of kining
okay.
Bob Marley wrote Guava Jelly,
Oh, okay.
and Barbara Streisand covered that song long before uh, Bob Marley became famous.
Wow. Wow.
So meaning say actually it was partly Barbara Streisand who opened the door for reggae and for Bob Marley.
Okay.
Now, I'll go back now to June Millington.
Okay.
No, that lady is kana sila and her sister formed a rock band long before Go-Go's kana mga Runaway o ubang mga banda. They are the first rock female band who became famous in the
Okay.
70s. These two sisters hail from Olongapo,
Oh, okay. So mga
and
mga
they went
Pinoy
to
po
the
ni sila di
States.
ay?
Yes, yes. Si June Millington and they went to the States, formed a band called Funny, Fanny. Why Funny? Because si Barbara Streisand played the role of Funny Bryce in A Funny Girl,
Wow.
a movie called Funny Girl.
Oh my
So
goodness.
they adapted that name and covered the song called Badge, Badge,
Okay.
Badge, which was composed by Eric Clapton.
Oh.
And Eric Clapton heard the recorded version of that song, and he said that, my God, this band is great because they really made the cover even better than what we did.
Wow. So
So
it's so strange. We never heard of them, right? I mean, like
yeah,
just to
but
be the band backup band of Barbara Streisand should be enough for them
yeah,
to at least make waves all over the world. At least sila,
I
kiba,
think that
kibaw
there
ka
is
kita
now.
din sa Pilipinas, hilig makita nga na Pinoy, makaibaw man rin tan, maka-identify man tan. Anong wala mo gini sinigawas sa atong consciousness, atong mga news outlets ni atong una kaning Mel.
Yes, I mean probably few people noticed, but I have always been looking out for Filipino artists here and overseas. And when I was younger, way back in the 70s, I was still a teenager. I already noticed them because Jingle Magazine featured one of their songs, Dunay Chords ngadto. Yung tanaw ko, unsa man yung funny, and eventually I learned that they were fronted by two Filipinas,
Oh,
and they were based in the states. And
okay.
there is I think, if I'm not wrong, in YouTube or Netflix or one of these streaming services, there is really a feature, no, about them as a band. So
Wow.
something you can go on and do a research.
Mm.
So
So
I think what Ruby Ibarra did was connect herself to one of the legendary Filipino rockers to her song.
wow.
And that's something also that we should be proud of because she did her research
Correct, yeah.
and wanted to give due recognition to Filipinas who paved the way, no, for Filipinos to be recognized in the United States.
Automatically, if you're an artist, you usually go on with your talent. Usually, mga artists, they move forward. They try to write their own music. But it's very seldom nga you're an artist and then imuhang buhaton is you go back to your roots, di ba? Murag tagsa na kay ka makakita ina nga klase nga artist nga mura siya mo tanaw sa iyahang kagahapon unya to be able to find kaning si Mr. Miss Millington, right? Millington is
Millington.
I'm sure it took a lot of effort to be able to find the roots of popular and legendary mga OGs sa mga Pilipino sa Amerika, di ba? In fact, we did not notice, I did not notice that there was such a band fronted by two Filipinas. So kani si Millington, vocalista na siya o gitarista or unsa man ni siya like
I think they are sisters. I'm not too sure whether she's the vocalist or the guitarist, but
okay.
those two sisters were the ones who fronted the band.
Okay.
Upat rin sila kabuok.
Okay.
And then one of them is a good guitarist, and I think the other one is the vocalist. I think if I'm not wrong, the other sister died last year or the other year.
Okay, medyo
So,
tiguang na
mga-
tiguang na gid that. So, she looks kind of a senior already, right?
Yeah, I mean, she is of the age, parehas edad ni Barbara Streisand.
Okay.
So she must be in her 80s already.
Okay.
80. She must be in her 80s.
A-
Yes.
And ang lyrics pod ni Ruby Ibarra, I'm sure she probably wrote most of it, right? Grabe sa gayo
Yes,
ka. The word that I can use is murag aggressive ba? Aggressive in the sense nga murag kaning women empowerment kay iyang I remember she was wearing a shirt called Pinay or something like that, right?
Yes.
And all of that stuff. So young music is aggressive, and then yeah, what can you say about the lyrics of the song
Yeah, I mean,
Bakunawa? Go ahead.
ang kwana is that she is proud of her origin. She is proud of her heritage, and she is proud of her people. Other than the Bakunawa that you played, the other song that you played in
As
English,
katong as.
mas klaro pag yun to.
Mm.
No? Mas klaro pag itong about her being a Filipina. She said about her being a Filipina,
Mhm.
being proud of being one, unsay struggles, and she says that I'm not. It's something like I'm not a rebel, but I'm just saying what I am, something like that.
Mm.
So yeah, it's ang imong gingon na to nga we would want the station 105.1 TMC to champion, di ba? Filipino music and hopefully produce a international hit based ngani sa toa. I mean, she opened the door. She has opened the door for us because it's
From
not just she's not just singing like an American does sing. She is singing about her heritage, about being Filipino and putting music which are Filipino into her song. So
you know what Mel kaning I've noticed ba nga among the African American community, among the Latino community in the United States, grabe kay sila mo suporta silang mga artists. Kung naman gali let's say Latino album, grabe number one dit song for example si kanang si Bad Bunny. I don't know if you're familiar with this artist.
yes, Bad Bunny.
Latino artist ni siya, mosaka lang number one dit so. Ang kuan pod kanang if you're African American, ang R&B and hip hop grabe so gayo. In fact, kaning R&B and hip hop dugay nang kaning murag mo gini pinaka-popular nga genre sa Amerika, di ba? Mosaka sa number one, you know, artists like kaning Michael Jackson, you know, daghan kay mga artists nga mga African Americans, but grabe kay
Beyonce.
suporta sa minority. Ang ako pangutana siguro mo anin Melba is I know nga Filipinos are not necessarily known to be very supportive of their own. Di ba? Nakadungog man ta ang termino nga crab mentality, di ba nga nakahinumdum ko I heard a line, a quote from one of my conversations before nga mas maayo pa jig nga imong amiguhon ang mga dili lang Pilipino kay moro ni mo drag down nimo. I don't know if it's still true now, but what do you think, Mel? Do you think this is the kind of artist and the kind of song that will galvanize support? Let's just say in the United States, as far as the Filipino community is concerned. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been following on Filipino artists who made it big sa States, no? Well, the biggest, of course, now is si Bruno Mars, right?
Mm-hmm.
He is half Filipino. But even in the 60s, no, there's a group called the Association.
Yeah, I think I've heard of
Kanang
that. Yeah.
the association, ang ilang lead singer ana is a Filipino. Gamito yung Filipino.
Mm.
He died already,
Mm-hmm.
but he sang one of the most popular songs of the 60s, but nobody noticed.
Okay.
Nobody noticed him. And he's Filipino. People
Okay.
listened to it thinking it was an American band and the singers were all Americans, but the lead singer was actually a Filipino. So
Mm.
try to check that out, no? Kanang the association.
Mm.
Kanang windy man ito ang kanta nila, no? And then after that, there was during the time of Santana, there was also another band nga ang ilang music was Santana style. May pagka Latino ang ilang dating, no? Jazz, rock, ang
Mm.
ilang dating. And then even during the rock the metal era, no? Doon na sa mga Pilipino nga who did real good. But the thing there is this, they were doing stuff which the Americans did, and they may have been good, but they were trying to imitate and follow the path of how to become a popular American artist.
Mm.
So they never injected their being Filipino into their music.
Mm.
And I think that's the reason why nga dili gyud maka distinguish ang tao nga kini Filipino music ni. Unlike when you say K-pop, they have mastered the electronic type of music,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
So naka-establish sila. And but the Filipinos never were able to do that uh, until probably, hopefully, with the entry of Ruby Ibarra, it might just open the doors for us and make Filipinos, whether they are in the States or they are in the Philippines, trying to incorporate the Filipino soul and the Filipino beat, the Filipino instruments onto their songs, so that eventually it will be recognized that, oh, kini, this is really Filipino. Because like SB 19 or kining Bini, di ba? I mean, they are the most popular now. They are actually K-pop doing Filipinos doing K-pop in the
Mm.
Filipino language. So kung mawa ng K-pop, mawa sa ng P-pop. So the point here is that is not distinctively Filipino, but good for them that they are popular in this age and time.
Very, very interesting indeed. Mga kaigalan, kung nahibog mo sa inyong ipamina, namina mo sa pinakasugbuanon ng radio station sa Tibok Kalibutan with Mr. Mel Libre, host of our show, which happens every Thursdays and Sundays. BORI Global. Among hisgutan karabuntaga, si Ruby Ibarra, the winner of the Tiny Desk contest, which involved about 7,500 artists. You know what, Mel, at the end of the lyrics, na siya murag si Ruby Ibarra na siya call to action. Nag-ingon siya nga, if you're ready sis, we're just here waiting. I don't know if you noticed that. Ingon siya, if you're ready sis, we're just here waiting. What is she talking about? What revolution is she talking about? What kind of revolution is she talking about?
I think what she's saying is that it's when she says, maybe say women power,
Of course, yeah.
she must be calling on the women to show their, that they are a force to reckon with.
Okay.
Mura ba siya kanang panahon ni Helen Reddy
Mm-hmm.
in the 70s? I am woman.
Okay.
In the 70s, Helen Reddy sang "I am woman,
Mm.
hear me roar."
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, and then everybody adopted this as the women's lib anthem,
Okay.
and they threw away all their bras just to show support. Nga, we are women in power.
Okay.
So most probably, she's also saying something like to that effect. Nga, I am a woman. I am a Filipino woman, and sis, let's show who we are, what
Okay.
we are.
So pakitang gilas ta.
Oo, ana. Mao na siya, yeah. And she's doing a revolution in
Mm.
terms of music,
Mm.
probably for the Filipinos, the way that Bob Marley did for reggae way back. Nobody, I don't know if you know it, but reggae with Bob Marley During his lifetime, he was not popular. He only became popular when he was dead.
Oh.
Bob Marley.
Okay.
What happened is during the time when Bob Marley and the Wailers were doing stuff, ilang mga kanta, katong mga Stand Up, Get Up, o katong mga ubang mga kanta nila, or I Shot the Sheriff, the original recordings of Bob Marley were never popular. It was Eric Clapton who covered kanang I
I
Shot the
I
Sheriff
shot the sheriff.
that
Yeah.
became number one.
Okay.
So, pasabot nga, sometimes when you are calling for a revolution, calling for action, sometimes matabunan ka sa imong message. But it's good that Ruby Ibarra was able to say those things in national radio in the States
Mm-hmm.
because probably because sa imong giingon nga it's probably a statement for migrants in the states, no, which is under threat under the Trump 2.0.
I don't know if you answered my question, Mel, or maybe I didn't hear it. So, do you think this is the kind of artist and the kind of song that will galvanize the Filipino community, not just all over the United States, but all over the world? Or is it still going to be crab mentality as usual?
What happened, Bella?
What do you think?
Well, Filipinos are basta doon na nagani musikat nga Filipino, everybody wants to have a part of it.
Okay.
Like when Bruno Mars became popular, bisan pag one-fourth ra ang dugo nga Pilipino, basta maingon nga Pilipino na,
Uh,
maingon nun, oy, Pilipino na siya.
okay. Okay.
Di ba? So, I think once a Filipino becomes popular, ang crab mentality, kaya doon naman tayo colonial mentality sa on the other hand.
Okay.
No? Colonial mentality meaning say that kung an artist becomes was able to be recognized by Western countries, then we become proud of it na amo gid na,
Mm.
'di ba?
Mm-mm.
Si Nicole
Mm.
is half Filipina, si Bruno Mars is half Filipino, kinsa pa yung mga half Filipino nga na.
Mm.
So we see her Her, right? Is also a Filipina.
Mm.
So everybody says that a Filipino will not bring them down. They will say tawagan na. They will look up to them and say, "Hey, amo anak."
Mm. So I hope nga Filipinos all over the United States will start supporting Ruby Ibarra para kaning kanta number one sa ni siguro sa namtay mga top 40 Billboard charts dito sa Amerika. I hope nga this song gains traction but because I feel magud nga this is so specific without to the Filipino, to the Bisaya, to people in Tacloban,
Yeah.
kanang Bakunawa. Maybe this is going to be just kaning very specific ang audience ani niya gamay ra kayo. Or will
Yeah.
will this also become like more widely accepted because like
Yeah.
lahi-lahi man taog mga kaning immigrant experience kada kultura, di ba? Ang na
Yeah.
Filipino immigration story napoy the Korean, the Chinese and the other kaning nationalities nga nagpuyo na diya sa Amerika. What do you think? Is this something that is universal that other cultures, other nations, other people can also relate to, or this is specific to the Filipino community ra gyud?
Kanang I think the message of her message is that of speaking as a Filipino, but at the same time speaking as a migrant.
Okay.
No, somewhere nga gikan ka sa gawas and then you go to another country, and I think the message is in a way universal.
Okay.
So let's cross our fingers, no, nga this will become a hit because although she is very specific about her being a Filipino, being a Filipina, there are also other artists who are trying to do the same, no, but in a different genre. Like for instance, kanang SB19, di ba?
Mm.
Ang ilang mga kanta, they have incorporated the Filipino beat into their songs, no? And they're already hitting the billboards, no? Which is good. On the other hand, Bini is also doing their stuff, putting the Filipino language into their music
Mhm.
and making it popular worldwide. So there are many ways of doing it, but the more nga kanang Filipino yung klaro nga with a beat, I think, and sentiment which is less commercial but more kanang dunag yung siya kanang message danay unod, no, ang kanang kang Ruby Ibarra. And let's just cross our fingers that she will become uh, generally accepted in the mainstream of the US, just like her and Bruno Mars.
Yeah, I hope she has gigs all over the United States. She can probably do a tour and maybe visit us here, also here in Cebu, in the Philippines, right? Maybe we can have a concert here in Cebu as well, right? And maybe
Yeah, yeah.
find a way to communicate with her. Maybe we can have an interview with her as well. That'd be very exciting.
Yeah, yeah, because there was another Cebuana gani sa Cebu nga naaron nga na kay Loregan puyo tingali. Kaila ka si Karencita, di
Oh,
ba?
actually,
Karencita a few years.
actually, I was gonna bring it up nga. Iyang rap style ni Ruby Ibarra similar kayo ni Karencita, di ba? Nakabantay
That's
ka?
right.
Kana aggressive
That's
nga
right.
style of rapping?
That's right. And Karencita does it very well.
Mm.
And Karencita, katong Cebuana niya, di ba?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a hit here in Cebu.
Okay.
But she produced it in the States,
Yeah.
no?
Okay.
And it created a little stir there. Kuha na lang yun sa a little bit of push,
Mm.
and that could have become a major hit sa America.
Yeah.
But it failed to do that.
Mm.
But yeah, we should be proud of her also.
Yeah. And you know what, Mel? Sometimes magod kanang mga watershed moments ba? Kana bitong mga agitawag to tipping point sa sa kultura. Sometimes dili ta makabantay. We don't notice it until the movement has already happened. So let's hope nga this may or may not be a watershed moment. This may or may not be a tipping point. But let's hope nga it is. Nga when we look back at the history of the way the Filipino dominated the world of music, maybe we can look back at this moment of Ruby Ibarra winning the Tiny Desk concert. Maybe we can even look back further. Maybe we can look back at Karencita, whatever it is. I hope nga the Filipino artists all over the world will have their day in the same way that the Koreans, the K-pop artists, have already dominated the world of music.
That's true. Yeah.
And
Okay.
Mel,
Yeah.
naghisgot ka nga si Morissette, nag-celebrate siyang birthday.
Oh yeah, Morissette,
Tell us
celebrated
about it
birthday.
and why is this significant? Why are we talking about Morissette's birthday? Go ahead.
Morissette is Bisaya ni siya, dako.
Okay.
Morissette is Morissette Amon.
Okay.
Taga Cebu ni siya.
Taga-asam
And,
ni si Kapuyo si Morissette, Mel.
kung sa, I don't know if she comes from Mactan, no?
Okay.
Or si Berdin ba to? But she is a proud Bisaya, no?
Okay.
Proud na siya na Bisaya. Onya, one of the things that other than her birthday celebration, which everybody in Manila, kanang mga fans niya, kanang put in the social media, other than that, do you know that she just won being a best actress?
What?
Yes, yes.
Artista ni siya? Really?
She is not an artista, but she had a movie called Song of the Fireflies.
Okay.
I don't know if you're aware of the Song of the Fireflies. It's going to be shown nga rin sa in the Philippines on June 25.
Asa man ni sinihan? Sa sinihan ni or Netflix na siya?
Sa sinihan, yeah.
Okay.
The Song of the Fireflies is about the story of the Lubuk Children's Choir. Familiar?
Yes, of course, yeah. I'm very familiar with that. Kaya makakita man ko na nila usahay magkanta-kanta sa mga events.
Oh, so sa Bohol ni sila, di ba? Sa Lubuk.
Yeah, correct.
And then what happened is they made a film about the story of the founder, no? Ang sa founder is si Enriqueta Butalid.
Okay.
Enriqueta Butalid was the one who lungsod guna latuas Bohol upon she was able to create a world-renowned children's choir
Okay.
who has joined international competitions and won these competitions. So a film producer came out with a script and produced a movie called gitawag ni siya og kanang Song of the Fireflies, and ang starring ini si Morissette is one of the actresses there, og si Rachel Alejandro, no, anak ni Haji Alejandro. They were the ones, and then there was a contest, there was a film competition there in the States. They know about which part of the States, but they won as the best film, And then at the same time, kanang si Morissette was the best actress.
Wow.
So something to be proud of. And I think in October, this October, si Morissette is coming out with a concert because it will be her 15 years as an artist.
Wow.
And I think we should be proud also of Morissette because she's not just a popular singer in the Philippines. She is proud of her heritage as well. Ihilaktika, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Imo nang you play that in your
Yeah.
radio station, 'di
Correct.
ba?
Yeah.
Kanta ni Morissette.
Yeah.
And then doon na po tayo, undangon tani.
Correct. Yeah.
Uh, she did that, and then of course a duet with Ferdinand Aragon, no? Ang
Ang
paghuwat.
paghuwat.
These are some artists in Manila. When they go to Manila, they are usahay, they are afraid to tell that they are Bisaya,
Okay.
no? Kay aan ay mga maid man ni sila.
Mm.
Kana gani mauwaw sila sa ilang pagkabisaya.
Mm.
But Morissette, oh, she is proud of her language, not just being a Bisaya, but be proud of her language. And it takes a lot of courage to tell major record producers mag-record ko og Bisaya nga kanta.
Yeah. Speaking
So
speaking of record labels, but is she still under a recording label, ba, Mel?
I think lately she transferred her. Teka, kuan. Lately, nabiya siya sa major record label and then came out with I think with a smaller record label.
Did
So
did
doon naman
did
major record label
didn't she
na
like murag
independent.
murag bago ra man ni siya sa naminyo ba ni siya unya mura og
Oh yeah, yeah.
mura og kaning
She is
correct
married
me
to
if I'm wrong, but
another
I heard nga
musician.
she went independent or something like that.
Yeah, she did. She did. But I think because of her kanang achievements lately, kanang mga I think ABS-CBN has already started to get to be interested in her
What
because of the fact that despite being independent, she was able to prove that it doesn't really require a major record label to become popular so
was
long as you have the talent.
wasn't she under ABS-CBN in the first place?
Yes, yes, yes. She
Before?
was with yeah, but I think she wanted to be free,
Mm.
so that she could show her creativity,
Oh,
and
so
she's proven herself nga kaya ay nako.
so nibalik na ni siya og under a major label.
I believe so because
Okay.
she's been appearing on television lately.
Okay. Which particular television shows did you see her, if you don't
I
mind?
think it is in ABS-CBN
Okay.
na si Morissette.
Pero
Yes.
so Philippine-based na ni siya, because I remember before when they got married, I think she relocated, migrated even to the United States. Sakto ba ko or dili?
I'm not too sure, but for the past few years, I've seen her in the Philippines.
Mm.
No,
Okay.
not
Okay.
just Filipinas. Married to another musician. I forgot the name of the musician, but she's married to a musician, and then she is Philippine based, and she's been promoting not only Bisaya songs, no, three songs nga Bisaya nga iyang gihimo, and then of course becoming an artista in
Mm.
the Song of the
So
Fireflies.
June 25, it'll be shown here in the Philippines.
That's right. That's correct.
The movie that
Yeah.
stars Rachel Alejandro and Morizet, about the Lubok choir group based in Bohol. Ato ang
That's
takna
right.
karon 54 minutos nang milabay sa alas 10. You're still listening to the Top of the Morning Conversations with BORI Global's Mel Libre. Karong adlaw, Mel, another bunch of local artists are making waves, are in fact are doing a world tour of sorts. Si TJ Monterde and KC Tandingan. Tell us about it, Mel. Go ahead.
Si TJ Monterde is from Mindanao, no?
Okay, okay.
Likewise, si KZ Tandingan from Digos. So I think they met in Manila and became popular there. Mga Bisaya ni silang ako. And then now I think TJ Monterde is one of the biggest stars sa Pilipinas karon, no? In recording. And already he is doing a world tour Ang sa tour is Sariling Mundo World Tour. And not only, I think, if I'm not wrong, they were in Paris, no, a few months ago, and around the Philippines, no, and most often it is kanang sold out ang iyang tickets for the concert. And just lately, I've heard that they're going on a tour nga rin sa New Zealand and Australia this coming October.
Mhm.
And other than that, kini sila TJ and si KZ are also just like Morissette, proud of being Bisaya. They've been recording Bisaya songs, no?
Mm.
Like you play Pohon
Correct.
uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
oftentimes, no?
Yeah.
And then doon na pa'y Inday, which is dedicated to his wife.
Mm.
Niya si Casey also had Dudong nga binisaya gihapon. So these are artists whom we can be proud of, and more so that this year they had the OPM Song of the Year. I haven't been playing this song kay di kay ko mo hilig ay mga Tagalog gani nga kanta.
Okay.
But I think one of their songs is now uh, voted as the OPM Song of the Year.
Wow.
And I think the
Unsa
title
man ning
is
award giving body
Palagi.
animal?
Angan is Palagi.
Unsay award winning award giving body ani ba nganing nakadaog man niyang palagi of song of the
Uh,
year?
I don't really know, but
Okay.
iba na gani sa social media. But I'm pretty sure it's a legitimate body
Okay.
because they officially came out with this. I think it would be a press lain kay na kadaghang award-winning body.
Okay,
But I think
kaning world tour nila Mel, asa man ni siya magsugod unya moabot ni diha sa kuan sa imong lugar sa New Zealand or asa man ni sila mag
yes,
world tour?
yes, it's already ongoing, and I think if I'm
Asa
not
naman sila
wrong,
karon?
ang akong nahibawan is that I think they just did Davao leg, no?
Okay.
And then it was sold out and they had to put another show. And I think they started sa Philippine Arena,
Mm.
the biggest covered dome in the Philippines, or
Okay.
is it in the world,
Okay.
where SB 19 also performed two sold out concerts.
Okay.
So he was able to do it as well. So yeah, so that's what's happening to TJ Monterde, and we should be proud of him as well.
Wow. So I can't wait for that. That's happening hopefully in Cebu as well. Does it have a schedule here in
Yeah,
Cebu? Would you know?
okay ba na da kung naawa si Cebu leg of this. Ang kato noong Ben and Ben had a Cebu leg, right?
You're correct. Yeah.
A few last week.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard kining Cebuano ba baka kanang we are very selective of artists.
Mm.
Kung Bisaya gani Bisaya ra man na di ta mo kuha na. Okay ra nang Ben and Ben kay mga Tagalog man na.
Mm.
And I do hope that there will be a TJ Monterde Casey Tandingan concert there soon, no? And it will be part of their world tour.
Check your time. It is now 10:58. You're listening to the Top of the Morning Conversations with Mel Libre, our host of the BORIG Global, which happens every Sundays and Thursdays. Mel, speaking of concerts, there's a saan tawag nilang all Bisaya All-Star Bisaya Music Festival. Karong asa man sa Tuburan karong
June 8 at Tuburan.
June 8. I mean ako February pa ni siya. Lahi po ning February. Kaning Yukbo. Lahi po ni siya.
Katong Yukbo lain to.
Unsa man ning kaning atong concert sa June 8 sa Tuburan? Go ahead.
It's actually I think it's a victory offering of one of the candidates ngadto sa nakadaog sa miaging election.
Okay.
But what makes this kanang somewhat unusual, no, is that daghan kay mga artist nga mga ngilngig, and they were able to put all of them together in one big event. Niya sa Tuburan pag yun.
Okay.
Like Missing Filimon. Of course, you've talked to
Insoy,
no?
Insoy, oh.
So naanga na ang Missing Filimon, katong mga I think aggressive audio o
Caraga, Kurt Fig,
eggs,
Jewel Villaflores.
So these are some of the most important Okaraga, Jewel, some of the biggest OPM or not OPM, no, Bisaya original artists are performing there. And that's something to look forward to. And I'm pretty sure nga mapuno-puno gini kay kanang they are
Asa man ni
really.
siya i-hold, Mel, nga medyo di man kay ko familiar
I'm pretty
aning
sure it will
tuburan.
be in the municipal gym ngadto sa Tuburan.
Okay,
It will be
is
there.
this exclusive, or is this like open to
I
the
think
public?
I'm pretty sure it's a free concert because it's a
Okay,
uh,
okay,
victory concert. So it's open to all. It's going to be a free concert. So, but it's something to look forward to, no?
okay, okay.
And talking about katong February, so i-connect lang nato ni.
Go ahead,
So
go ahead.
I've been organizing Yukbo ang konsyerto since 1986.
Okay, Mel, explain ko no sa atong mga tigpaminaw. Unsa man ang yung yukbo? First of all, maybe the etymology of the term. Is it an acronym? Is it an actual word? What does
It
yukbo
is a
mean? Go
natural
go
word.
go ahead.
A word na siya nga kanang Bisaya. Yukbo is to pay tribute to take
Ah,
a bow.
take
Kang
homage.
muyukbo ko
Okay.
nimo. I believe in you, muyukbo ko nimo. I take a bow because and and originally it was organized in 1986 after the EDSA revolution.
Mm,
After the EDSA revolution, there was a way nga kung sa Manila man handog ng Pilipino sa mundo, di ba? There was that song.
yeah.
Handog ng Pilipino sa mundo. I thought then nga maghimo tag ato ang ring a gathering of musicians to say, hey, we were able to attain democracy through people power.
Okay.
So motong yukbo alang sa Pilipino. That was the original title of the event, and we were
So
able to.
when and where was the first ever yukbo?
It was on Easter Sunday of 1986.
Okay.
Easter Sunday of 1986. It followed the day before that was there was a murag pista wherein ang mga politiko nga mga opposition ato ang mga businessmen po nagdala og mga inasal ngadto sa Fuente Osmeña.
Mm.
So it was a big giant celebration. People gathered there because a few weeks before, people actually gathered in Fuente with the presence of Cory Aquino at the
Mm.
time.
Okay.
And just when Cory Aquino was delivering her speech, then the EDSA revolution, there was a coup d'etat giplano na inriling ngadto sa Manila.
Mm.
So Cory had to hide in Cebu, no, to secure nga dili nothing would happen to her. So, and a few days later, EDSA revolution occurred.
So,
And
skani imong first ever yukbo was before the revolution, di ay? After na. Okay.
it was Easter because ang EDSA revolution
February man
happened
to.
in February.
So, asa man ni sa
February.
Fuente Osmeña?
Fuente Osmeña.
Nakainom
The
pa ka
same.
kinsay mga artist na nanukar atong adlaw?
Yeah. Yeah, katong as Manila Pinka was there, Salome Oro, Pamela Wildheart, and some of the rock bands during those times, no?
Okay, okay.
Daghan to sila. We were able to do it mga about tingali alas 2 sa hapon hantod sa alas 10 sa gabi. Nga na sa Fuente Osmeña in front of I don't know if there's still a clock there, facing ngadto sa Robinsons. So kanang duha ka daan nga na puno nag mga tao. Kanang Osmeña, the traffic was closed and people gathered there for the concert. That
Oh,
was in
so why
1980.
why did you decide to organize yukbo again? Can you repeat what you just said?
Well, the first reason there was to celebrate the victory of the Filipino people
Okay.
from martial law, no, from
Okay.
martial rule. So it was a way of saying we were able to regain democracy peacefully through people power.
Okay.
That was and the second was to gather local artists, no, to show their stuff, no, nga doon na tayo abilidad in terms of music. So it was a celebration of music as well.
So it was a
And
celebration of freedom and
yes,
democracy
of the local artists.
and local artists, right? We all know
Yes,
Mel as being demonstrated all over the world now that somebody once said not too long ago, a democracy is a verb. It is an ongoing process, right? Looking back at the original intention of Yukbo Mel, you were celebrating our freedom, our newfound freedom at that time as a nation. you're celebrating the local artists and pakitang gilas ta nga maayo po ta diri sa Cebu. Fast forward to today, Mel. How has the original essence of Yukbo changed, or has it changed at all? Go ahead.
Kwan, as far as democracy is concerned, no, one of the things is that we should look back on what had happened in '86 because that event actually was not just about the Philippines. It led to other events in other parts of the world. Even the fall of the Berlin Wall, even the katong Russia as a communist country. I mean, also in Korea, they modeled it after the EDSA, the People Power Revolution of the Filipinos. So there was a time that people all over the world looked up to the Filipino people as a model uh, in regaining democracy from a military rule. So that was something that we should be proud of. And even if through the years has passed and the essence of democracy or the freedom that was regained during EDSA has somewhat been lost, no? Murag way kausaban gikan panahon ni Marcos nalagpot si Marcos unya now in 2025 Marcos madaig hapon
Mm-mm-mm.
ang presidente. What happened? So probably because people forget
Mm.
and that's something which is sad.
Okay.
That's why ang point is
So has the essence of Yakbo changed?
well, no, Yokbo still remains to be a reminder, no? A reminder of people that once upon a time, the Filipino people stood high and proud of being able to regain democracy peacefully.
Because
But primarily now, Yokbo,
music is one of the best ways, aside from actual mobilization, actual organization of rallies and all of that stuff. Writing books the way Jose Rizal did it. Music is actually one of the best ways to show a kind of resistance, right? A kind of protest. That's what songs are. So
that's right.
most of the best songs in the world ever are songs of resistance, songs of protest, right?
That is very correct. Like when you talk about the 60s, when the Vietnam War was raging in Nanisa, Asia, Bob Dylan and the rest of other protest singers came forward to sing about the blowing in the wind and
Mm-hmm.
all the stuff, diba?
Mm-hmm.
So and then there was a time when there was so much consciousness about trying to protect the world from nuclear nuclear bombs and
Okay.
missiles, and there
Proliferation, yeah.
was no nukes.
Mm-hmm.
And James Taylor, Carly Simon, Crosby, Stills, and Nash they formed a concert there, and there was Band Aid.
Mm.
Remember Band Aid?
Yeah.
If you're aware,
Yeah.
South there was so much famine
Africa, yeah.
in Africa. So Band Aid and We Are the World was
USA for
organized.
Africa.
So
Band,
I
ba- well,
agree with you
Band
that
Aid
music.
is different from We Are the World. I think Band Aid was organized by Bob Geldof, right? The vocalist of
That's
the
right.
Boomtown Rats. And USA for
That,
Africa was, I think, organized by, I think, Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney and Quincy Jones or something like that, right?
no,
Yeah.
Band Aid was primarily Bob Geldof in UK,
Okay.
and he was able to gather all most of the artists who were British,
Okay.
and they came out with a song called "Do They Know It's Christmas."
Correct, yeah.
So, and they were able to raise money. And
USA for
the American
Africa.
artists like Michael Jackson
Yeah.
and Lionel Richie, they wrote the song. No, they said that if the British artists can do it, why can't we?
Yeah. So
So they got
we
hold
actually
of
have a history of also similar to that, right? Mel kanang mga
handog sa Pilipino sa mundo.
artists band together to sing for a cause, right? So pero nakabantay ko Mel, wala na kay ana ron. Murag I don't remember anymore of anything like that. I remember in Cebu there was a time when we did katong there was a typhoon bitaw niya naghimo tag kanta We Are Cebu, right? Remember that?
Kato,
Remember
panahon
that?
ni Janikawa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you a part of that?
I was not part of the recording of that,
Okay.
but I had also the same causes as what Kawa did,
Okay.
uh, in a different manner
Okay.
also.
Did you
Concert
so
fundraising.
what's the latest song that's similar to that, Mel? Kanang artists from a community, from a country banding together to sing for a cause. Wala na kayo sa?
Lately, I have not heard, but there's a Songs for Change, or there's a YouTube thing wherein ang mga artists from different countries, they cover a song with the original artist.
Mm.
Like I think it's something like Change something.
Okay.
So ila is they perform the song together. Doon ay native instrument nga to sa China, sa Mongolia, and then they put up together. But lately, raising funds for a cause, for a concert for a cause, lately wala. But the one which I remember is during the COVID.
Mm-hmm.
During the COVID time, si Lady Gaga led in a telethon, no? Wherein nag-fundraise sila, and then the artist did perform. And the last one, of course, was during the fire in Los Angeles. And I think you may have seen that in, I think, Netflix, wherein the artist also performed songs. But
Yeah, I think I saw that. I also remember namon to yung murag song a concert organized for kaning the the Spratly Islands or something like that nga murag to raise awareness and maybe even to raise
ah,
funds. I don't know if you remember that.
Danha sa
That
Pilipinas.
here is a Pilipinas. So I guess it's still there, right? But not as prominent because we all know the
Yeah.
power of song. We all know the power of a group of people organizing for a worthy cause. So kaning imong yukbo, Mel, although the times have changed, but the essence of the concert series has not. So when is the next yukbo going to be?
Remember that we started in 1986,
Okay.
and then it stopped in 2005
Okay.
when I left for New Zealand. So nothing happened between 2005 until 2 years ago
Okay.
in 2020, 24,
Okay.
24, 2024.
Kinsa may
Yes.
nag-organize na diri nga wa maka niuli
What had
niuli
happened is
niuli jud ka na, Mel?
guacamole, it doesn't. The funny thing there is that things can still be possible even if you're not there,
Okay.
so long as you have the concept and a good cause.
Okay.
So what had happened there is 2 years ago, kanang City Hall, Cebu City Hall,
Okay.
si Mike Rama
Okay.
wanted to have a project, and Mike Rama and I were used to work together in Aboitiz. No, we
Okay.
were both legal counsel.
Okay.
So kaila yun ni si Mike.
Okay.
But Mike had a staff whose this staff performed in one of the past yukbo, and
Okay.
he's already there sa City Hall. Said, Mayor Mike, maghimo ta og yukbo balik, and I think they dropped my name there. And si Mike, smell okay ra. So anyway, they did a concert nga na sa Plaza Independencia.
Okay.
So 40 the band, katong mostly the monks, si Alvin. So it was more of a reunion of the bands katong
Okay, so so
nakaraan
so,
nila.
so atong next nga yukbo.
G18.
Kanus man atong next yukbo nya asa man ni nato buhaton. Go ahead.
So ang mahitabo karon is in 2000, next year, 2026 is going to be 40 years.
Okay.
No?
Wow.
40 years since 1986.
Okay.
So we are planning to hold it during the week of EDSA.
Okay.
Meaning say February 25, I think it's a weekday. So most probably it will be on a weekend prior to EDSA.
Okay.
A weekend prior to February 25.
That's pretty
So
exciting.
so initially we're doing the groundworks now,
Okay.
and hopefully with 105.1 TMC as the official radio station,
Yeah.
supporting local talents. So I would look forward to 105.1 TMC to recommend artists whose songs have really become popular during the year, and these artists will perform there. Unlike in the past, yukbo nga ang mga artists never had songs aired sa radio.
Mhm.
Now, I think with the help of 105.1 TMC, artists are now going to be well recognized by the local audience.
Absolutely.
So
And speaking of
my
recognized ba, I know I don't know if you've already aired it or wala pa. You have a Siloy uh, uh, the
Cebu Sila Music Awards.
Siloy Music Awards, right? Humana man ni Mel or ato pa ning
Yeah, yeah.
i-air
It happened. It happened
karong
a
weekend.
week ago.
Okay.
A week ago.
Okay.
So the last week of May.
Okay.
So we were able to recognize several artists
Okay.
for what they did. And I think last week we were able to air it sa atong tulumanon,
Okay, sa
no?
Cebu ni siya Mel or sa New Zealand nga version.
No, Cebu Sila Music Awards is not about place, but rather it's about Cebuano artists or
No,
Bisaya artists
no, I'm sorry.
being recognized
What I meant by is kaning ang
where it was held.
ang atong episode diri sa 105.1 TMC which featured all the winners was already
Yes,
last week ra.
that's right.
Okay, so what's the episode of B Orig Global this week?
This week.
What is it about?
Oh, because it's the third anniversary of BORI Global.
Okay.
So, tulo na ka tuig ang BORI Global here
Okay.
in New Zealand. So, we're making it more special. So, ang hitabo ini is we're going to be playing all the more important songs from 2017
Okay.
until 2025 sa Cebu Siloy Music Awards.
Wow.
So it's nine editions already that we did. And so we selected songs from each of this year. Onya, we put it together in one show.
Okay.
So makikita nimo from the first 2017 Haha Sula until this year's winner, which is Buhi by Ferdinand Aragon. So all those, and in between, you will know unsa man yung mga sikat nga mga artists nga outstanding songs during those years between 2017 to 2025.
Wow, happy anniversary, happy third anniversary to B Orig Global.
Global.
You gotta hand it to Mel. Sige yun siya mugna og mga butang nga kaning eventually will become will have a life of its own. And of course, Yukbo is one of those. And now you're also building this B Orig Global, which is amazing. And we're forever thankful for you, Mel, that you are one of those forces in the world that still care about local music, Cebuano music, Bisaya music, Filipino music. And you're not just appreciating, you're actually doing something. Kay lahi man ng kaning giingon nila og kaning unsa tawag na Mel, awareness, diba? Pushing awareness. Awareness is something else, but actually doing something about it, is something else, right?
I have to say this now because one of the dreams that I had long time ago was that there will be a radio station in Cebu who will play mga Bisaya songs
Wala.
of the younger generation.
Murag imposible man Mel. Dili man
Posible na sa una.
Dili man na mahitabo Mel nga naay radio station nga motokar og Bisdak music, Filipino music, Visayas music. Murag abot lang gadamgo ra siguro ka Mel.
It was a dream way back since I became a DJ 1975.
Okay.
But now tanawa, you have made it, no? You have made it possible.
So ang Mel, ang pangutana siguro na Mel is
what happened, Bella?
nganong nahitabo na magid finally Mel unsa may
I don't know.
siguro kay kaning you had a hand on this because I think something like this does not happen overnight, right? It is really pareha gud kanang revolution, but it doesn't happen overnight. Revolutions don't happen overnight, and I think this is a collective effort of all of us, all of you, all of us who have tried to make sure there's a place for local music, and finally it's here, and I think we should be able to hopefully take advantage of the sustain it, take advantage of the momentum of the win of Ruby Ibarra, the momentum of the Yukbo concerts, the momentum of B Ori Global, because again, it's not a one man thing. Watershed moments, tipping points don't happen overnight. It happens with slow, gradual, individual and concerted efforts by many people, not just in the locale but all over the world. And I'm glad that you over there are waging the battle for for us here in the Visayas as well.
Yeah. So yeah. So thank you so much, 105.1 TMC
Mel,
for
before I
what
let you
you're
go, Mel,
doing.
before I let you go,
Yeah.
okay, naghisgot man
Please.
ka og you're gonna be playing all of the important songs since BORE Global started, right? It's just you mentioned
Since a Silhouette Award started, yeah.
since the Silo Awards started in 2017, you mentioned, right?
17.
So Mel, I know it's all relative, so I'll just ask your personal opinion. Unsa mo
Yeah.
ginang importansya de? How does a song become important and become important to what to you as an individual, or is it important to culture of the place and time? Go ahead.
A song is important when it is able to kanang connect to people. Meaning to say, it is able to express what people feel at a moment in time.
Okay.
Like for instance, when Ha Hasula came into being in 20 katong nagsugod ang Vispap,
Okay.
I think it was something which people resonated with, no? Because it was a love song, a simple love song, but then it showed unsang nature sa the romanticism of Filipinos.
Mm.
And then like Cebuana by Karencita, it talked about being proud of being uh, a female uh, person born and raised in Cebu.
Mm.
So I think each song ang dunay importansya nga that will live longer, no, are those which connect to people
Mm.
to the time at a point in time, like ipanumpa ko, for instance. That's
Mm.
another one. It's and then ug karon, and the latest is buhi. So it resonates to people.
Mm.
A song will live forever so long as it connects to people and it expresses the real emotions of the composer. Because if one writes a song for commercial purposes only, like ano, sayaw nga na, mawa na sila, it will just disappear. But the songs which are written from out of experience, which is pure in its emotion, then that's the song that will outlast, at last, that will survive through the years.
Okay.
So
And
mo na siya.
do you
I
have
hope I answered you.
do you have a song in mind as our last song, as our final song, before I let you go? That is to you one of the most important songs. Go ahead.
One of the most important songs. If I was to say it to you, kanang, it's a song which I wrote, of
Okay.
course.
Okay. Why not? Why not? Okay.
I like the song kanang gibuhat nako with Troy Digamo.
Okay. Okay.
I love that song because it's something which I wrote. Kanang something, the struggles that we go through.
Okay.
No, people go through to struggle through many things,
Yeah.
and that song was written at the time when something like we have to go on, we have to fight whatever struggles we go through, whatever when we have to sacrifice so that we will survive. Someone ang kanang kayod lang, you
Mm.
can always do something, you can always and I hope that kayod lang is a song which will resonate to people when they listen to it, the way that I don't know, I will have to tell you this, that Ferdinand Aragon sang a song called um, uh, Pahuway.
Mm-hmm.
And he performed this song during the time of Ben and Ben, gatong concert last week. And after he performed it, because it was the front act, now Ben and Ben performed in front of the audience. And the lead singer, twin brothers man sila, di ba? The one of them, Miguel, said, kanang, I have to thank Ferdinand Aragon for the song Pahuay because that song saved my life. He said that in front of the audience. So, like, I hope that the song Kayod Lang will also resonate to people that when they listen to it, they will feel that bisan sa kalisod nga akong giagian, basta maningkamot lang kyo, basta mukayod ko, I will be able to uh, pass through these difficulties and be victorious at the end.
Life,
Amen.
life is beautiful not because it's easy. Life is beautiful because it's hard. Kayod lang.
Salamat ha.
105.1 TMC.